A bit too small for Ovaltine, I think. Here's your Christmas spot on the Christmas story, Little Orphan Annie Decoder Pin. Even though there is a pin inside, I will say right away that the box is a little underwhelming. This is one of those cases, I'm sure if you went to the actual physical store of Retro Festive where I ordered this from, that the displayer of this, most likely near a register, probably would be very more elaborate. It would say probably Little Orphan Annie's Decoder Pin. It probably would have a little picture of Ralphie and would have probably all the loose pins sitting inside. Because I did order this online, the box that this was shipped inside is a bit, again, very underwhelming. I think right away, though, the price of this pin was $12.99. And even though it is made of metal, I feel like they probably could have done a little bit more, the manufacturer that is, of shipping this in a much more decorative box, something more festive to the season. Maybe even had, like Little Orphan Annie, made this look like a box from the 40s. And when you opened up the box, for example, there would be the little letter inside from Little Orphan Annie herself. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't seem like you're getting any of that at all. Just a simple white box is the only thing about the same size, really, as the decoder pin, but the pin is sitting inside that. Now, I haven't yet actually opened this up, so I don't know what this is going to look like. This didn't just arrive to my doorstep looking like this. Oh, no, it actually came in a much larger box of other things I ordered from the company's site. But the decoder pin, again, when I first looked at this, I thought, is this all I'm really going to be getting? Opening up and revealing the pin inside. Now, the pin is one thing that Ralphie sends away for. I think he actually sends away several Ovaltine labels. I think that was the case, and he was waiting so many weeks for this finally to arrive in his mailbox. When he got it home, he ran right away to the bathroom, even holding up the business of his brother, who need to use the washroom after him. But the pin itself, basically how it works, like in the movie, is that the radio individual on the radio obviously would have told him exactly what number combination he has to use. You have a number and you have a letter. When you first get the code of, say, like, for example, be A1, you set your decoder ring to that, and then with the numbers that they give you, you would have to decipher the clues to figure out what the message is from Little Orphan Annie herself. Of course, if you've already seen the movie, Ralphie is very disappointed to discover that the secret message sent to him by Little Orphan Annie herself ended up being, don't forget to drink your Ovaltine. This would, though, have been a perfect review had I had myself a jar of Ovaltine. I was making one in the background. I can't even remember really the last time I even had Ovaltine. It's probably been at least 20 years. But the way that the pin works, I guess before we actually start decoding anything, that there is a pin on the back that you could technically wear this if you want to. You just lift the top latch here and you bring the pin outward like, just make sure I got this all the way out. Bring this out like this. Don't poke yourself, whatever you do. And then you just basically wear that on your jacket. Ralphie, we never get the chance really to see Ralphie wearing this. We don't even really see the ring or the pin after that, because it seems like once Ralphie's been disappointed by the fact that Little Orphan Annie herself let him down, again, we don't even see the pin after that. So let's just go ahead and put this back in place, because the last thing I really want to do is poke myself. So you just fit the pin just underneath. Okay, get it back in there. Get it back in there. There we go. I don't know why I was having such a hard time doing that. Of course, some of the details on the back, we've got some like little riveted points there on the back. This is made, though, of metal, but it's not the bronze or the brass that it actually is in the movie. But the fact that it is metal is a nice touch. So details, of course, there featured on the front, if I got this facing the right way. You got the eagle. Is that an eagle carrying around a snake? Of course, the American flag in the background, and USA down below. This has all, though, been textured. We'll say it's pretty light, though, so I would imagine how this works in order for this to rotate is that both the top half and the bottom half of the decoder pin are probably completely hollow. Think of it sort of like a tin of cookies. That would not hold very many cookies at all. But basically, because it's hollow, the one thing I would worry about, though, is if you happen to like pinch this together, I would imagine there has to be enough of a ledge in between the two halves so that when you rotate it, there's nothing getting in the way of things, which I haven't yet done that yet. So basically how it works, if you're not familiar with the decoder pin, is on one side you've got yourself numbers. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the other side you've got yourself letters. So if you had, for example, wanted to give your friend, for example, a little message that they had to decipher, you would give them first the code. So let's say, for example, I don't know, like say if it was like D3, you would set it to D3. So how this works, where I'm going to hold the back because that's probably the easiest thing to hold on to here. And you're just going to rotate this. So right away it does work. That's good. And let's just set this to D. Where's 3? I should have probably picked something I was going to be able to find. There it is, right there, D3. So based on that, you would tell your friend what code that they have to use, and then you would just give them the numbers. So you would line up everything. So like say, for example, J is 4, was that H? H is 5, and just basically go so on and so forth with that. With then that in mind, your friend would have to then decipher the series of numbers to figure out what exactly letter you're going to be giving or what message you want to be giving your friend. Perhaps it's even like go to the store, pick up some Ovaltine, I'm all out. And then your friend's going to be like, oh, come on. That's really the message you wanted to give me. I mean, from the standpoint of it being a functioning decoder pin, it does work. I will say, though, for $12.99, which is the price that I paid for this, as a collectible that looks the way it does in the movie, I will say they've done a nice enough job. It's made of metal, which is a nice enough job too. It's not, though, made of, I think it was made of brass in the film. And obviously, this would have taken place back in the 40s, so everything back then would have been more made of metal. I mean, it does the job at least for that, and it does rotate, so already there's that too. The thing about it, though, is would this be something that's worth $12.99? I would say it would be had the box been a little bit more elaborate. Again, I would probably understand that if you were to go into the physical brick and mortar store, they'd likely have probably just a displayer like this and would have, like, you know, Christmas Story decoder ring pin underneath, and then they would probably just have like a stack of these, and you would just pick them up as your impulse items as you were walking your way towards the register. Standalone, though, I feel like the company kind of really did drop the ball. Not necessarily the company that sold or were selling these, but the company that was actually producing these in the first place. I feel like they could have done a whole lot more than just simply packing a decoder pin loose like this. Had I been them, for example, I would have probably come up with like a crude looking box that looked aged, maybe even had stickers on it, for example, little Orphan Annie Club in the top corner, and something, though, that when you open it up, it would maybe even have like just torn up little crinkled pieces of paper. Have a little letter, like, for example, from Little Orphan Annie herself. Go all out. For a $12.99 collectible, I feel like I should have got stuff more than just the pin itself. The pin is pretty good. The pin does actually work, which is good as well. But again, I feel like where they really let this down is the fact that the box is, again, so very underwhelming. Had I bought this, though, in the store, again, I probably would have seen several of these all sort of stacked together. But again, like, I just feel like the packaging could be a whole lot better. What do you guys think of this? Let me know down below in the comment section. Are you also a fan of A Christmas Story? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you guys also as well enjoyed this video, do it a solid, throw it a like. You guys want to stick around for more so? I hope so. Hit that subscribe, turn on that bell. But the most important thing as well is that you're coming back. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.